What's up, everyone? My name is Joshua. I want to welcome you. I don't even know what this is, to be honest with you. It's not really a broadcast, although I am going to talk a little bit before this audio plays. What is this audio? This is audio of a Care Conference at MSOP. MSOP is a shadow prison. It's supposed to be a state hospital that helps sex offenders rehabilitate and people that are mentally ill rehabilitate. However, that doesn't really happen there. Also, if you're on YouTube right now, I'd be very grateful if you liked and subscribed because, well, we do content like this. Like, one of the things, I'm not trying to win a popularity contest by any means. If you know my history, you probably understand why. But I'm not trying to do that. I'm here to provide value. I'm here to be a voice for the voiceless. I'm here to elevate other voices for the voiceless. And part of my personal mission, of course, is to equip the voiceless so that they have a voice. And one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about working with the prisoners that are locked up in civil commitment or under a civil commitment law or rule or whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's a death sentence, but I'm passionate about it because a lot of these men already served their time. They've already served the time that they were sentenced to. And a lot of them went out and lived their life, did nothing wrong, didn't commit any more crimes, raised families, were all good. And then all of a sudden, one day, these city leaders from around the country that are a part of this, the civil commitment states, they went and swept up some of these prisoners and threw them in the civil commitment facilities. When I say prisoners, they weren't prisoners anymore. They were out, living their life. There are some people that are in these facilities that have never been charged with a crime at all. It is screwed up beyond measure. One of the things that got my attention and that really aggravated me the most about some of these situations, because there's a lot of horror stories, okay? It's one thing to be locked up and not be charged. That's one thing. That sucks. And every single one of you would not like that, especially when you hear some of the reasons they actually got put there in the first place. Like, none of it makes sense. But one of the things that got me really passionate about this is because I have a history of working with people that have complex disabilities, ALS, muscular dystrophy, spinal cord injuries, cerebral palsy, and so on. Wound care was a big part of what we did also. So I've worked with a lot of orthotics, diabetic shoes, specialty cushions, and so on. Why am I telling you this? Well, I'm telling you this because one of the things that we had to do quite often to be able to supply medical equipment to people was fight them, was to take them to court. Medicare, Medicaid, Blue Cross Blue Shield, you name the insurance company, we took them on for various reasons. After my father and I sold our family business, we got bought out by this large national company. And this large national company, when they put me in a position to do contract negotiating. Now, why does that matter? Well, because with contract negotiating, you get to learn a lot about how insurance companies think, like what their objective is, their agenda. But also with that, you learn a lot about the rules and the regulations and what patients' rights are, what the hospital's rights are, what the facility's rights are, what the doctor's rights are. You learn all of this stuff. You have to know. That's the only way that you can really do your job, is by knowing everyone's roles and responsibilities. So I am not an attorney, but I do have enough history in this industry to know that people have rights that they're not even aware of. And guess what? They may put the rights on the wall for you, but if you don't go to that wall, you're never going to see them. And most people don't even know to ask. Anyway, so I've been working. One of the things that really got me passionate about helping these quote unquote prisoners or patients is that a lot of them were victims of medical malpractice in a variety of ways. They were not getting proper care. They weren't getting treated. One of the things that I brought up in one of the past episodes that I've done, and of course you can go to joshuatberglan.com, and under video, there's civil justice. That's a category of videos that I do. That is a lot of civil commitment videos there. And in one of those videos, I talk about how medical malpractice is happening and how they have some people that are just dying in these facilities for no reason. Like they're not a threat to society. They can't even move. They can't even walk. They're like confined to a wheelchair because they're morbidly obese or they have amputations. They're not a threat to anyone. But if anything, they should have proper care. Because I've used this example before, but if a patient is not sitting in a wheelchair properly, they are at risk of getting skin breakdown, a decubitus ulcer, bed sore, whatever you want to call it. Now, those surgeries are extremely expensive. So there's all of these practical reasons for a hospital, a facility, an insurance company, or whoever the paying source is to actually care about giving proper care because it saves them money. But when you don't give someone proper care, these problems just compound on top of each other, making more and more problems, making it more expensive for everyone. Now, in this case, with the people that are a part of, they're locked up due to civil commitment. Well, guess who's paying? The taxpayer. So the medical malpractice that's happening in these facilities is actually costing you money. It's costing you money. And so in this video today, and I'm going to show you, because this is going to be some of the screen, and I'll change some of the images. You see that? It says MSOP. This is a Care Confrence call, MSOP. This happened today. What is today? Today is Monday, February 27th. At 3 p.m. today, this call happened. I did not start recording until about 2 minutes into the call. But that said, it's 43 minutes of very troubling dialogue. You're going to hear patients. You're going to hear a patient advocate. You're going to hear the nurse and the caregiver or the person that's responsible for overseeing the meeting. You're going to hear them talk about not giving the patient proper care. And this is not like it's just some dude that sprung an ankle. This is somebody that is diabetic. This is somebody that has massive heart issues, is in chronic pain, and is not getting treated. Not getting treated. There's medical malpractice with how medication's been handled. There's medical malpractice in the sense that the guy's not getting proper care. And you have to understand something. These facilities are created to rehabilitate. It's a mental health facility meant to rehabilitate. The reason why the people are in MSOP and the other shadow prisons that are under civil commitment is because of mental health issues. However, the more I've spoken to the different men that are locked up around the country, I don't think mental health is the issue. I think somebody else is the issue. And this is really screwed up. I'm not saying everybody there is innocent. I'm not saying any of that. Not saying everyone there deserves compassion. I'm not saying it. But I know for a fact that there are several men there that should not be there for a lot of different reasons. But the fact is that they are there and they have no hope of getting out. No hope. They're fighting to get out, but they've been told that they're there for the rest of their life. Now, the problem with that, and there's a lot of problems with that, but the biggest problem with that is if they are there because of mental health issues, but yet their physical body is not being taken care of, they have no chance of successfully completing the program. They have no chance of actually rehabilitating themselves because when you're in freaking pain, you don't have time to care about your mental. You're in pain. When you're in pain, people lash out. They get angry. They get confused. It's screwed up. It's like you can't work on your mental health when you're in physical pain, unless if you're like a ninja or something like that. But I don't know how many ninjas there are anymore, or yoga masters. Like, I don't think they're teaching them any of that. So anyway, in this video, you're going to hear some very troubling things. I speak up probably at the 30-minute mark, and I bring up the diabetic shoe issue because the nurse there was trying to act like he didn't qualify for diabetic shoes. I was not going to say a word, but having sold diabetic shoes for 18 years of my life, I know how people qualify. And literally, the patient, Mr. Wallace, is saying all of the reasons he qualifies to the whole thing. And then they play this game that, well, you know, you didn't really qualify. But then when I spoke up, their tune changed. You have to hear that. But it gets worse. So I listen to more and more and more. There's more abuse, more crying out for help. Like the dude is desperate for help. And these people don't give two craps. So finally, I had enough. I spoke up. My blood was boiling. I wish I could have composed myself better. I wish that I could remember all of the laws and the rules, but it's been a long time. But MSOP is in violation of the American for Disabilities Act because it protects people with mental health. Oh, and physical disabilities also. So the reason I'm making this video is because I'm praying with everything in me that someone out there gives a crap enough that has the power to do something about this, to at least investigate what's happening. I mean, mind you, I may be tipped them off, but here's the thing. I got other videos, and I've got the emails from other people that work in the facilities that back up everything that is being said that I say that's happening there. Like, it's confirmed in other facilities. So these people are not pulling it out of their butt. They're not these prisoners are not making up the neglect that's happening. Because frankly, there is a big group of them that just go along with it. They're like little sheep. Okay, I'm just going to go along with this. And then other people that are not sick, the other people that are well, they're there and they're suffering for no reason. The fact is this: the people there are not being treated humanely. But the staff at MSOP is in violation of so many laws, so many rules, so many regulations, and the facility needs to be shut down. And if you don't believe me, please listen. I beg you, please listen to what the conversation that's taken place. And again, at the end, I mean, it wasn't like I cursed anybody out that I know of. I didn't curse anybody out. I just wasn't like on point with all of the laws and regulations. I was shaking. I was so upset. And you're going to understand why when you hear Mr. Wallace talk and when you hear how he's treated. And then you hear Daniel, who has become like a brother to me. We've never met, but we've talked like 30 or 40 times at this point. And like, you're going to hear him speak up. Like, and why this matters for you is because this can happen to anyone. Anyone. Oh, never mind the religious freedoms being taken away. Your right to just basic healthcare. You have rights. Every one of us have rights. Some people don't really care to honor those rights. And MSOP in Minnesota is one of those facilities, and it needs to be investigated. Help me get them investigated, because what's happening there to those men can happen to any of you. Any of you. And it's not to scare you, but I'm serious. You should hear some of these stories in the past episodes. But check this one out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for however you're listening or watching to this. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your prayers for these men and also their families. Thank you for being here. I said that like 10 times. Anyway, here's the audio.
Not been addressed, and they're telling me to take ibuprofen and Tylenol and rub with Voltaren rub, and none of that stuff's working.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause for a moment.
Okay.
I'm gonna start on ankle. So just so I can have, so November of 22 is when your complaint was?
Yes.
Okay. And then X-ray was January?
The X-ray was, 60 days. No, wait. December 29th.
And then you went out to see, or you signed a consent that just to go to see podiatry, correct?
I haven't seen him.
So was that?
And then
coming up?
Pardon me?
That is coming up.
Okay. Now I have my my blood pressure issues.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you because you
Okay.
went shoulder after your ankle. So I
Okay,
just
we'll go to
wanna
the, we'll go to the shoulder.
Okay, I just wanna flow with what you had.
I wrote a kite on the shoulder, and that would have been, let's see. In the end of, December. And nothing was done. Now, I had an X-ray done in January.
January 6th.
Yep. And they found degeneration, but they still haven't treated anything.
So so degenerative joint disease, the treatment is really depending on the degree, is a shoulder replacement. So that would be something that orthopedics would look at, and I know you have an orthopedics appointment also coming up.
Right. But now the pain's still there, and they're not doing nothing for the pain. They tell me to take ibuprofen, which you should have something back from the retinal surgeon that says, I'm not supposed to be on ibuprofen because I have high blood pressure. And that just came recently. And so it's not working. You're not treating the pain. So then my high blood pressure last week was 189/109. And if you Google 189/109, it says stage 3 hypertension, see doctor immediately. What they do is they tell me to go back to my cell. They don't treat it.
Because we know you have hypertension, so it's not an undiagnosed problem, but Tanya, your APRN, reached out to cardiology
Yeah,
and adjusted your medication.
yeah. And why would she have done that through the cardiologist? Because,
I'll read you her notes directly, hang on.
okay,
Name here. Reviews client's consultation record from 2/17/23 visit to retina consultants of Minnesota that noted stressed the importance of keeping blood pressure under good control. I then reviewed client's recent recorded blood pressures in Avatar and sent update to client's cardiologist at Essensa, Dr.
Kazam, yeah.
through the Epic portal. My message to Dr. Kazam was as follows, and she lists the blood pressures. Client is scheduled for cardiology follow-up with you coming up. Do you recommend any medication changes prior to him being seen with you or await follow-up appointment? Dr. K responded as follows: let's increase amlodipine to 10 milligrams daily. Let's get some numbers 7 days after that increase. Following that up, we will increase the Corade to 25 milligrams twice daily if needed.
Okay, now let's go to after my cardiologist appointment on 12/4. My blood pressure has been really low with the new medication. When working out, it runs 123/63 and lower. So now they dropped my medicine from 10 to 5, the same stuff they just increased. So it was running great. Know what happened? Shoulder pain. Did she notify to the cardiologist that the reason his blood pressure was up because he was in pain? No, she didn't, because the cardiologist would have never increased my blood pressure medicine over pain.
So prior to December, when your shoulder started hurting, your blood pressure was normal?
Yes. Yes, I have it. I have everything right here. Discuss this with your provider at your appointment. And so nothing gets done, and now that they increase my blood pressure medicine, but I'm still in pain. Has it worked? No, my levels are still high, because pain's not going to be subsided by blood pressure medicine. They just took it yesterday. It was 159/91.
But there's no narcotics are going to help shoulder pain.
No. Something must help. Ultram, something must help. I get lightning bolts down to my arm.
Yep.
I can't sleep at night. My blood pressure's through the roof. My celly's ready to hit the button because I'm in so much pain. I don't care if it's opiate or whatever. Something must help. Nothing over the counter is helping. I can't take ibuprofen. So something must help. And they're telling me I have to self-buy everything on Canteen. They don't have anything on Canteen that works. And something helps.
Does your TENS unit help?
No. What if it's a torn muscle? I've been advised to use it. They haven't gave me an ultrasound in it. And you know what happens if you use a TENS unit on a torn muscle? It makes it worse.
Mark, and I hear that you're upset. Can you just?
Well, right,
take a-
but
take a
I mean,
breath. Take a breath.
this is the run, look at this. I have a runaround, I'm chasing my tail for months
Right.
for something so simple, and I know they did not notify the cardiologist that my blood pressure, that I was in
Shoulder.
pain.
Sure.
They neglected that, so they misrepresented my case to my cardiologist. That's not right.
I hear you.
And I am, no, you don't hear me. I'm the one that has to live in pain. I'm the one that's getting heart valve damage. My retinal's getting damaged. They have to change medication. You're not. You don't have to deal with this. You go to people that take care of you. Not, I got 8 months to see the cardiologist. 8 months. You don't live this. I do. And I know what real health care is. I was out on the streets in 2017. I went to the clinic. They would have never let me go like that. If I went to with my ankle, they would have addressed it that day. And that pushes off. It's been 3 months. And I'm waiting to have something done. That's not real world stuff. That's this. That's third world country stuff. And you wouldn't be upset? Tell me you wouldn't be upset. I know you would be.
I'm
So
not saying that. I'm just saying.
I have every right to be adamant about how I feel about this because it's my life.
I understand that.
So you've had hypertension since 2020.
I came here with Carrie Orvac took me off everything that I came on.
Okay, I'm just looking back at cardiology notes. I
Right,
only-
because she took me off my medication. She took everything that I was on and threw it to the wall and put me on 200 milligram metoprolol, which the cardiologist said, what are you doing on that? I was on a whole different medication when I came here. She took everything. They took my rescue inhaler when I came here until they brought me down to Sandstone Ascension and said, oh, wow, he does need a rescue inhaler. He only has 63% of his lung capacity. That's what I've been dealing with. And when I can't breathe at night, I had to fight for a year for this. I was on nebulizer treatment. I've been in construction. I got concrete dust in my lungs. It's irreplaceable. And this is what I came to. And it's a sad thing when I get better health care in Stillwater Prison than I do here. I didn't have this problem. None of this. I wasn't on all this diabetic medicine because it's all different. And it's got worse. It's almost like, just send me back there because at least I won't die because of neglect. And that's what this is. This is neglect. I don't care what you say. I've dealt with it. I'm living with it every day. Every day, and I'm going blind on the side. Tell me how you'd feel if your doctor didn't address your blood pressure, so now you're going blind. Irreversible. I get a shot in my eyeball every month. That's going to make you happy? You're going to be nice about it? The people who are the reason it's happening? I have every type here, and if you read these, you'd go, this is bullshit. I keep these, and you're trying to put me on an IPP for giving a shit about my health? That's punishment for caring about myself.
Can you explain what the IPP is a little more, Mark?
I have no idea what an IPP even is.
Well, they want to limit your ability to grieve, potentially.
No, so I don't think it's the ability to grieve. I think it's the repetitive medical requests that come in day after day, like several days in a row where we have up to 10 days to answer a medical request, but in the meantime, the same topic may have multiple.
So then the IPP would limit his ability to write requests? That would
It would,
restrict it?
I would say, consolidate it. Like, let us answer
And
the
then
one that you have before you send the next one the next day on the same
Reflective
topic.
of following the chain of communication, wait
Right.
for the response before you write another follow-up request.
And then there's punishment if he refuses to follow that.
You know what would be nice is if I wrote a request and you took care of it. That's how it should be. I shouldn't have to I shouldn't be told, take ibuprofen. Okay, I write back, I'm not supposed to take ibuprofen. Then take Voltram. I write back, I'm not supposed to, I shouldn't have to, I've tried Voltram from some other buddy. Well, we looked at your Canteen purchase, you haven't purchased it. Canteen doesn't sell Voltram. Yeah, it's going to be repetitive because they're not taking care of it. Just treat me. Give me something that takes the pain away so my blood pressure isn't through the roof. Don't lie to my cardiologist and not tell him the full story. Because I have an appointment to come to my cardiologist, I guarantee you he would not have increased my blood pressure medicine if he knew I was in pain. No cardiologist would. I guarantee you that. And I've asked other nurses down there where they took my blood pressure yesterday, and they agreed with me. They would have never done that. So they misrepresented me to that cardiologist, and I bet money on it, and I'm not even a gambler.
Okay. So, Mark, ultimately, I want to know what you want, because what I hear is that,
I want no pain.
okay, I can't guarantee you're going to have no pain.
I mean, what's Ultram? One guy in our unit,
It's a
right?
narcotic.
Is it? I never heard it before.
Yep.
But if it takes my pain away and I can sleep, I want it.
So narcotics are not indicated for degenerative joint disease. So that's not going to be an option. I'm 99.9%.
Well, then what is? What will work? I don't care what it is. I don't.
Voltaren gel.
That does not work.
But have you given it an opportunity to?
Yeah.
Kind of roommates or another peers once in a while. Have you done it several days in a row?
Several days in a row, it doesn't work at all. Not one bit. This is so bad a pain. I've never felt it. I've been shot before, and I'd rather be shot than have this damn pain in my neck. Right here all the time, and it sends lightning bolts down my arm. I've never felt anything like it in my life. Never. And I don't care if you give me some tea that I can drink that takes the pain away. I don't care what it is, but at least treat it. I shouldn't have to write multiple kites and end up chasing my tail, and that's what you're doing.
Are you done doing? I'm just reading notes here. Done doing 1,000 push-ups a day?
Well, of course I can't do that. I can't do nothing. And you know what happens when I can't work out because of my ankle and shoulder? My A1C goes up. That's because health service is not taking care of their business.
Okay, what are you doing dietary-wise for your blood pressure?
Barely eating anything.
How about Slim Jims and that are on?
I don't eat Slim Jims. I never buy that crap.
Mark is one of the most conscious eaters. He is very good with his eating. In terms of his diabetes, he watches his blood levels and all that, his sugar levels and such. He's very strict about his eating habits. He's really good. And this is why, because from talking to Mark, he knows that he has to because he doesn't get the proper care from medical. So the best he can do is watch what goes in his system.
So prior to shoulder pain, your diabetes was on November 30th, your A1C was 7.9, so not controlled.
Well, here it says A1C came down to 7.9. Result was normal. This is what you guys gave me. Normal.
It's not normal. It's still elevated.
Well, sure it is, but this is what I get, saying it's
Talk
normal.
about that. This brings up a question. Can you tell me, Nikki, or anybody, what is the process when you get a blood test or you go to Essentia or you deal with Essentia on some level and they make their reports and their findings, they get sent up here and what happens? I want to know the process.
So then the nurse practitioner reviews it, and if there is any questions or concerns, we have what's called a care link, so we can direct message the provider through the computer to say, like we did with the blood pressure from the retina center, here's his blood pressure, he's scheduled to see you coming up, do you want to adjust meds now, or do you want to wait till his appointment?
Do we get those original papers from Essentia?
They go into, it'll depend, and I say that hesitantly because if you went for a hospitalization, you get what's called an after visit summary, an AVS, if you're called. That we will review, make sure there's no dates of upcoming appointments, and we can give that back. If you went to just your appointment for the day and comes back on our form, we do not, that does not go to the client.
So I had a blood test done in the office over here in the facility by somebody that works at Essentia, and I got a memo from MSOP that said it was normal.
Correct. So
I did not get the documents from Essentia.
correct.
Why is that?
Because Essentia is the who does our lab. You can ask him for a copy of it,
So I'm
but we're here to talk for Mark.
well,
I
this is
just
the
wanna-
point that I'm making for Mark.
Well, I have their answer because I have
Yeah.
the Essentia and I have yours on my shoulder. And Essentia is well-rounded form ossification, chronic finding. However, there's association with soft tissue swelling, clinical correlation could be made to be whether this a tiny acute fracture. Now I have kites saying I didn't have no fracture. So but it says here, Essentia. Does it say fracture on yours? Nope.
Why would you leave that out?
So what date is yours?
Which one? 1/3/20?
Which just read.
That is 2/28/22, 12/28/22. This is for my ankle. From Essentia. And it says, chronic finding. That doesn't sound good.
That means you've always had some sort of classification there.
But you
That's
hid
not
the
new.
results from Mark.
Well, nothing came on you in fracture.
He had to dig for that document. You didn't give him that. You hid the results. How is that okay? I want to know, is there a policy? Is there something we're not understanding?
I don't like my stuff being sugar-coated. It was a fracture. When he handed me my ankle brace I've been wearing now for 90 days, serving no purpose whatsoever because it's trying to straighten out a crooked ankle, hurts every day, he goes, I had my x-ray that Friday, he goes, here, your ankle's fractured. See ya. Your doctor do that to you? Heck no, he wouldn't do that to you. That's what they did to me. And when I went back the next day, said I didn't know how to put it on, they had to Google it to find out how to put this cast on me right. The nurse who put it on me. Because even she didn't know how to put it on.
Flint, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know what it is. It's crap because I use it, it hurts more because it's trying to straighten out a stick that's been healed crooked. And that's because I didn't come here with this.
Can I see that?
What?
That,
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Because there is still some surrounding soft tissue swelling which could represent an ankle sprain. I called the Essentia on-call podiatrist and reviewed your x-ray findings with her. She reports this is something to let it be. So it's not, we didn't stop and did not do anything.
You say any of that there?
No, because this is the one from, where's the other one that you're looking at? This,
The 12/29/22 from Tanya rating.
That's a shoulder.
okay, so those are two different.
Two different, yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's a shoulder.
Are you listening, Mark, to what Nikki's saying, that part of this is coming from the podiatrist at Essentia,
Right,
providing that direction to Tanya? Yes.
right. But it wasn't on my report. It didn't say nothing about fracture.
Well, it says it could represent an ankle sprain, and an avulsion is
twist.
a twist, so that's what they call it.
But the thing is I didn't do anything to hurt my ankle. It's like when I was asked by Tanya, I said, no, I was walking. So is there something wrong with my bones, that they're just falling apart? They're just dissolving? That's a question.
How old are you?
Old as hell. And I've been in construction my whole life. But
So they've been hard years.
But yeah, but it would.
So
If I was,
bone density.
but a doctor would have went further on, and not just threw me a cast through the window and said, "Hey, have a good day."
Right, but Tanya did go further on. She called.
She looked at my. No, you're wrong.
I contacted the Essentia on-call podiatrist, Dr. Nagel, sorry, I can't pronounce it, and reviewed your x-ray findings with her. She reports this is something to let it be. I had nursing issue and an air cast to wear went up to help with symptoms until you can get the new orthotic. I encourage elevation and ice to area as well.
I guarantee you, when I go in and go to the orthopedic guy or whoever, they're going to find more, because I can't even wear your brace. It hurts. And when I went for my annual with her, she looked at my ankle because she said she's a foot specialist. Oh, there's nothing wrong with it. I said, do you have an x-ray built in your hand? I had to write 1,000 kites to get an x-ray done. It's not like you guys did it. It's me. This is why you get 1,000 kites, because that's what it takes for you guys to act.
Even, and, you know, I appreciate you reading that from Essentia, okay? But this speaks to the problem. Why do we have to go through all of this to get that kind of information?
That was what was on his memo that he got back.
Well, I guess I'm talking more about this Essentia document. I mean, we have to dig to get this, and it's difficult to get it. And look at all these requests in front of us. I mean, guys on the phone can't see it, but I'm looking at 100 requests to get 2 or 3 things that on the street would be a simple fix.
Can I ask a clarifying question, because I don't know?
Uh-huh.
And it kind of goes down to what your point is. So that sheet that he's reading with the information from Essentia was something that, Mark, you had to write a request to him to get? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so and this is my thought process of like, if I were a client and whatnot, I go on an appointment, I don't get information when I come right back in, right? So then I would say, okay, I know I had an appointment, I'm gonna write to him, ask for a copy of my documentation, and then maybe would that staff then not be necessary? If you have it, because it took you all of that to get that paper, right?
Yeah, it was,
So all of those could have been replaced potentially with one to him saying, can I get my documentation for my doctor visit on XYZ? Is
no,
that accurate?
it took all that to get an X-ray.
Oh, okay, just kidding.
Not the paper, just the
I thought you
X-ray.
were talking about to
Because-
receive the information
Because
back.
I have kites here, you can look through them all. I got kites here and saying, we don't think an X-ray is necessary. We don't think so. We've had people look at it. 60 days of this. It's not necessary.
Ankle was fractured.
This is from 11/28 about my ankle.
So your concern is that the amount of time that it takes to have your medical needs addressed?
Right,
That's a fair summary?
Yeah, it's one of the problems.
Well, I think if we break it down like one problem at a time, because there's multiple problems that you're experiencing, so how do we kind of organize it so it's not just,
my concern is my health. My concern is you're leaving my blood pressure run high, you're neglecting the pain, and you went to a cardiologist and didn't tell him that I was in pain. That's my concern. And you need to handle that because my eyes are getting worse. They have to try to change medication. The retinal surgeon said it's getting worse. And I told them, my blood pressure's through the roof. What are they doing? Absolutely nothing.
But is that true?
Totally.
Absolutely nothing.
You didn't do a dang thing.
You're seeing cardiology, you've seen.
I saw the cardiology in December. My blood pressure was great after that. This was because of the
You've
pain.
had, I just went back to 2020, you've had high blood pressure since 2020.
Since I came here, and they took Carrie Orbeck took all my medications away. I didn't do that. I was never on 200 milligrams of metoprolol. I came here on a clonidine patch and 20 milligrams of lisinopril.
For blood pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what she did? Upped it to 40, put me on something else, and 200 milligrams of metoprolol. The cardiologist didn't do that. I went to the cardiologist. He upped it. He went from 25 to 50. She went from 50 to 200. And when I went back to the cardiologist, and they left me on that for a year, and I ran out of it on a Friday, and I have a kite here. Oh, let's go to that one. I have a kite here at 2/13/22. Hey, we're sorry you ran out of your metoprolol, 200 milligrams. We'll have it in a few days. Right here. So they ran out of it. You know how important metoprolol, 200 milligrams, to stop cold turkey on it? Well, sure you do, because it says do not stop cold turkey on it. I had chest pains. I let them know. I didn't get it for 3 days. I couldn't even get out of the bed. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. Now you see why I'm upset? I put all my stuff in, it just didn't come. Did they run the Thrifty White and grab it? Nah, it'll be okay for 4 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday I got it. And she apologized. Please advocate for yourself if this occurs again, so we can have it delivered. Why didn't they have it delivered then?
So, again, Mark, I'm just filling in here.
Right,
Figure things
but
out as
this
we go
is-
through. Are you SAM's medication? That's
Yes.
the first question. Okay.
I'm saying.
So you turned it in.
Everything, I got all my other medications except for them. And that could have killed me. Could have put me in cardiac arrest.
So you dropped in your request 7 days prior?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got all my other meds. Yep. I didn't have to redo it. They knew it. They was like, oh, it didn't come with the order. It's not like I can run there and get it done.
Which med was it again?
Metoprolol.
Ran over.
200 milligrams, 100 milligram tablets. Would have been 2/13/22. Something Berglan.
so
Yeah.
Don't even see.
See, this is Monica. I'm still on board here, and I just wanted to make a comment that's an awful large dose of metoprolol to be put on just at the drop of a dime, and then to have no follow-up done from what I'm understanding. That's definitely a safety issue. The nursing staff should have been asking questions.
So it looks like
Okay.
on 50 milligrams twice a day back in 2020 was your initial dosing.
Right. So we jumped to 200? That's
Yeah,
not really.
they jumped me to 200. The cardiologist did and a nurse practitioner did.
Right. I had to question that from here to China. I'm an RN.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I honestly don't see the metoprolol actually on his record, so that's why I'm stumbling a little bit. I see Corey.
That's the new medication.
Okay.
Because the cardiologist took me off the metoprolol. He goes, you shouldn't be on that dose. You guys left me on that for a year. I have
So,
complete kites of this.
I'm really confused right now.
In December of last year, I went to the cardiologist.
Yep.
He took me off the 200 milligrams.
Okay, so what med did you run out of on 2/22/23?
222.
22.
22, okay,
Yeah,
that's my issue.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And a nurse puts you on that dosage?
Nurse practitioner, cardiologist couldn't believe it. And Monica, I don't believe that would a cardiologist want to increase my blood pressure medicine if he knew I was on pain and pain was causing it to be raised?
Typically, they would hold off and make those adjustments after the pain has been addressed appropriately.
All right, thank you.
But if the pain is chronic degenerative joint disease versus an acute trauma.
Well, if it's chronic degenerative joint disease, it happened in one day.
But
When
that
I
doesn't mean that it couldn't all of a sudden escalate. You know, sometimes those chronic things all of a sudden just really be a thorn. And that doesn't mean that that can't happen quickly.
You said you slip and fall or something?
Yeah, I told him right away. I slipped and fell. I caught myself and something pulled. I don't think it has anything to do with my old bones. I think I tore something. But would I know? I don't have an ultrasound built in. Will they give me a? I begged for an ultrasound. Please look at it so I know.
It'd be an MRI.
Anything. I got that kite saying at this time we don't think you get an MRI. I have that one too. This is why I write. I'm not doing it to pester them. I'm just doing it. I want to live. I shouldn't have to go through all this just to live. You guys don't. You go to your clinic and get taken care of. I have to battle to get anything done. And I shouldn't have to do that. And as far as diet goes, I don't eat anything because the diet here is terrible. Even the diabetic, to give you white bread and rice every day. Tell me what part of diabetic friendly that is. And vegetables that are so overcooked, there's no nutrition left in them. I have to self-purchase my vitamins. I get $121 a month. I'm supposed to self-purchase all my pain medication and my vitamins and clothes and hygiene and everything else. Man, is this picture wrong? Or is it just me that it's wrong to? And I got one here that says, I got a kite back from Mandy saying, your county won't approve shoes for your diabetic. I'm getting shoes because I'm diabetic.
You're getting shoes because of your ankle and your orthotics. So diabetics don't just get shoes because they have a diagnosis of diabetes.
That's not what your shoe guy said.
They have to have something else going on with it.
Well, your shoe guy said differently. He goes, you're diabetic? I go, yep, you qualify for shoes. So I don't know. I went by who they gave me the shoes.
Yeah, MA has guidelines and I can print those out for you if you'd like them, very specifically that says what diabetes in and of itself will not get you shoes. And we're going into the weeds on something that's really not affecting you.
No,
You have to have something else.
But I've been managing my diabetes, and my blood pressure and everything else. But from neglecting my ankle, neglecting my shoulder, I can't work out, I can't walk, and now I have to starve myself to keep my numbers down. I don't want to be on insulin, and my numbers were great. But now you took all that away. All you would have to do with my first kite, you say, I write multiple kites. How about the very first one that says, my ankle's hurt, I think I broke it. And it gets looked at. Then it gets dealt with. I shouldn't have to wait 70 days till now it's starting to heal. Or my shoulder. Sure.
Right, but he's got them coming, correct?
I guess.
I just read something that said that they've been fitted for.
Right, but that's not gonna help my ankle.
So it's not,
Yeah.
So there's a lot,
I
I
just,
know from talking to Mark, if I could just, of course, that there's so much to, I'll go too far into the weeds before we come to some solutions. But should we talk about solutions so that we don't leave here without a victory of some kind? Can we give Mark some hope and
I
give
just,
him a plan of some kind?
there has to be something out there in the world of medication that'll take away this pain. This is 2023, and you're telling me there's nothing out there that'll help. I do not believe it has anything to do with degenerative anything. I believe I tore something in there, and you guys haven't looked at it yet. And I believe something's tore.
So an MRI would be a step, right?
Yeah, and I would bet that you're gonna go, oh, wow, it's ripped.
So can I make a proposal that he gets an MRI,
So-
and those results be given to him directly?
Yep, so yes and no. I cannot order an MRI. That is a practitioner that has to order that. So I can review it with Tanya to see what she says. I also know you have follow-up with, I don't know if it's follow-up or a new appointment with orthopedics coming up shortly.
Okay.
So that they would also direct what that case would look like. So I can't say that, yes, I can say an MRI, and then there's already the policy for how to get his results directly from, he can request them directly from East Central. He doesn't have to request
Is
them
there
from-
something I can get for pain so I can sleep, I can get a good night's sleep, and I don't, it's horrible. You know, I don't care what it is, as long as it works. And it can't
My
raise my
question-
blood pressure.
I have a question. This is Monica, and when you say soon, how soon is soon? Because your soon and our soon might be very different.
Within a month, and that's all I can give you.
Monica, I waited 8 months to see a cardiologist. Soon is not, doesn't happen here.
But she did say 1 month, and we can't give you specific dates.
Oh, I know,
For
I
the
know.
appointment, so that gives you a little bit of a less of a time frame than 8 months, so.
But I have a kite here that said it'd be soon 2 months ago.
We'll be clarified, so.
I'm just letting you know.
Within 1 month.
I have 4 kites that start back in March of last year. It says your cardiologist appointment soon. I didn't go till December. So
Right, because your September one you knew about, so that had to be changed.
no, I didn't know about it.
But
I was in HSA.
I just read someplace that said you knew your September one.
No,
That's why it was.
Tanya Epler sent me something to see her on Monday back in HSA, and it came to me Thursday night, and my appointment was the next day. So they canceled it. And I couldn't use the phones back there or anything else. So I don't understand what the big deal was. But she acted like it was like a breach of Fort Knox security. I mean, I can't get no mail back in HSA. I can't use no phones, but I can't go to see. They didn't even take me to the dentist. I have a kite from the dentist that says, we don't look at people from HSA.
You don't get, I think it says, you don't get medical services while you're in HSA.
Yeah, so I don't understand none of that.
You're-
I have a kite that says that.
You're back there for
These are-
69 days, and
Yeah.
you don't get medical.
I don't get medical services, and I'm writing to,
Okay, was that, I just have to clarify, was that from dental or was that from?
It was, 4 appointments got canceled.
4
by
appointments got
HSA.
canceled,
Cardiologist, retinal,
and dentist,
and some other one.
yeah, and,
Because he's an HSA.
yeah,
No other reason.
yep, that was
You
it.
don't- You don't deserve health care if you're a bad boy.
So this was also, you weren't on PI status or AR, you were refusing to leave, which is.
No,
Doesn't
at this
matter.
time, I was on
Doesn't even
AR
matter.
status.
It doesn't even
I was on
matter.
AR status
And-
the whole
and
time.
look,
I was on AR status and was
Okay,
released from HSA.
I'm sorry, but I'm offended that you just did that, Courtney. It doesn't matter why someone's back there. This is a human being, and he deserves medical attention as much as you do. I don't care why he's an HSA. Bottom line.
We're getting into the weeds a little bit, so I just want to kind of bring this back to
But
what
that, very good point, Dan.
your concerns are.
Yes.
the amount of time taken to answer medical, I just wanna make sure I have these down correctly, neglecting the pain, addressed your blood pressure, and there was a fourth one, and I didn't catch it because we got down to something else.
The shoulders.
Well, I had pain.
Just,
so-
just take care of this. So I don't, and, because by taking care of this, it takes care of any damage to my heart valve from you guys neglecting my blood pressure and doesn't make my eye worse, which is irreversible from initially neglecting my blood pressure. So it's a chain reaction of help. The ankle is already screwed up, so my walking is limited. You know, most likely in order to fix it, it's going to have to be re-broke because orthopedic shoes aren't going to correct a crooked ankle. It's crooked. So in that, I didn't come here with a crooked ankle. I used to walk all the time, every morning, all the
Yeah,
time,
you-
and I can't. You guys all know it. It's on,
Yeah.
You can roll the cameras back.
So for an orthopedic, and again, I'm just asking because I don't know, for an orthopedic appointment, would that be the appropriate time for Mark to address the shoulder and the ankle?
They sent me a
The
kite
ankle.
saying that they're making it one appointment. They took away, and this is why I send kites and save them. Because
It's a hit both.
Both, okay. So he doesn't have to go to wait for a separate appointment for the ankle versus the shoulder?
Correct.
Okay.
But right now is mainly, it's this pain that I can't take nothing. So I'm in it all the time. I can't, there's no Voltaren magic rub. MSOP water won't lower my blood pressure. Like I said, I was told the other week when my blood pressure was high, go drink some water and relax. Really? My blood pressure was 189 over 109. That was the second test after sitting there. The first one was 168 over like 93. And this is not, there's nothing here magical that's going to help my blood pressure. You must have something that'll take the pain away. I mean, I see people, they get bit by a spider and they're taking something. They're taking an oxy. And I have a I got bit by a brown recluse and he's taking an oxy. I mean, come on, what the hell are you doing?
I'm gonna challenge you a little bit on that because you truly believe that because I don't. Because the number of clients.
He had
that
some
have
stuff on his
narcotics
hands. He said he got bit by a spider. Huh?
I said the number of clients here who are on narcotics are pretty minimal, and I would have heard if somebody got bit by a spider.
Well,
You're talking about the surgery, because
I don't know who it is. It doesn't even
It
matter.
doesn't matter, so but.
You know, because the damage is being done to my heart valve and my eye, and it's all paper. It's all in paper. It's happening. When the retinal and the eye doctor saw me when I first came here, I had no issues with my eye. A year later, I got hemorrhaging in my eye. The right eye has nothing to do with diabetic. Left eye is diabetic. So I'm managing my diabetic, but I can't manage my blood pressure because you guys wouldn't carry Orvac, just threw medicine on the wall to see if they stick. Joshua, the lady the nurse that's here, she's in charge of the medical at MSOP and St. Peter.
Knowing that her own license is at risk. No.
License.
License.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I said license.
I got there.
I think we're too far down. I Josh is, but I did not consent to recording, so you cannot share any of them.
Please.
I Tanya on pain and orthopedics,
All right.
okay?
Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Monica.
You're welcome.
They're shutting it down.
Shut up.